development and the kind of decayed infrastructure in the state is not something. It's better imagined than seen, because the people who saw those things really went through a lot. So for me, I said the government was in a hurry, to turn around the history of the state. We had a lot of children who were serving as housemates, house girls, and all that, and doing menial jobs outside the capital because of lack of money to go to school. So I was in a hurry to also touch the educational sector of the state. And that was why I declared free and compulsory education. I promulgated and signed into law the child rights law, which protects the rights of children and makes it mandatory for parents and guardians to send their children to school. Any child of school age that is not allowed to go to school, then the parent or guardian has committed a misdemeanor. And if there is continuous breach of that provision, then the person has committed a criminal offense that is punishable by imprisonment. And then why we are doing this is to ensure that children go to school, to give hope to our children, to fight criminality, to fight kidnapping, to fight the vices that are pervading the society today with proper education of the children. And we have triple school enrollment in under 1 year of this policy coming on stream. So we are really, really, really in a hurry to turn around the entire state.
Wonderful. Your Excellency, but you have received a lot of flack regarding 3 major projects. One is the Tropicana project, the other is the new Governor's Lodge, and the third is the flyover project. Now, you did say something, and I'll quote you. You said, the demand of history is that he who starts a race late must run faster in order to catch up with those who started the race earlier, or forever remain behind. Now, what was your message and what is your vision behind this project?
Well, let me just mention the statement I made. I took cognizance of the fact that our progenitors, our forefathers, started the struggle for state creation in Nigeria. And if you hear about the core state movement, that was Cross River, Goja, and River State, I'm taking you back to when we were not born. But when states were first created in Nigeria, outside the regions, they had 4 regions. So state creation came in 1967. One would have expected that the region or the area that started the agitation will also have a state, but we were not given. Nigeria had 12 states. After that, Nigeria had about 19 states. And by the time we came as the 21st state in Nigeria. So we were just created very late. And I believe that, yes, we've just been given self-identity. And now we are now being propelled and given, of course, we've now been given the platform within which to begin to develop our area. So we started late because we were created late. And so we have to make sure that we double our efforts in terms of our dedication to the development of our state, in terms of our prudence in the management of our resources, in terms of the impact that we make in infrastructural development to catch up with the rest of Nigeria. That was why
because we started late
because we were created late as a state. This is something we had always clamored for. So now the projects that people are criticizing me for, one is the governor's residence, the governor's lodge. When I came in, the one I met on ground had foundational problems, so I did not move in. I just felt, and of course the last governor handed me a program where he said, of course he gave me a plan and said, this is the plan to renovate the entirety of the lodge. When I looked at the plan to renovate the entirety of the lodge,
you said would have cost more.
Going to cost about 1.8 billion, and then to build a brand new one will cost roughly 2 to 2.2 billion. So I said, what's the point of doing renovation when we can build one that for the next 50 years we don't need to either renovate or do anything about? So I took on that, and this is my vision. I don't expect, because of criticisms, I will not do what is right. Because it is me that has the mandate of the people to think for them, to take decisions that will benefit them. So in spite of what people said, you go there now, and I can tell you, under 1 year, 6 months, the lodge is completed and furnished. The entire governor's residence. Please take a look at it.
I've taken after you looked outside, it's wonderful. Is it?
No, you will go inside. My commissioner for housing will take you inside. Go inside. It's a beauty to behold. And don't forget that that is also the first point of contact when you come into the state. So from a public relations point of view, to show the cleanness of our people are known as the cleanest people in Nigeria. So to actually epitomize it's an embodiment of the Akwa Ibom man, of the Akwa Ibom person. We are the cleanest in the whole country, and that lodge now completed actually shows the Akwa Ibom being. So it's something you need to go and look at. And then considering the fact of the criticisms vis-a-vis the final product, you'll be very thankful to God that that decision was done. Then the same thing will happen for the Tropicana project. The Tropicana project, the concept behind it is a full-scale entertainment center. We are now building an independent power plant, which as I speak with you now, is completed and will soon go into operation. So we may become the first state in Nigeria to have sufficiency in power. That's number one. And then when that happens, we are building an international airport, which in the next 2 months will be landing our first international plane in the state.
When is that this year, Excellency?
In Akwa Ibom, yeah.
This year?
This year, in October.
Wow.
In October. In October.
You mean planes are going to land at the...
Please take a look at the airport before you go. It's a Category 2 airport. So, and it's built by the state government. So by October this year, international planes will be landing in Akwa Ibom. So when you have stability in power, and you have the airport, we are now bringing the concept of a Baka deep sea port.
Yes.
That means that a lot of investors will come to the state. And when they do come to the state, you don't have recreational facilities. All over the world in developed countries where you people stay, you know that those things are everywhere, sometimes privately done. So we are investing in something we hope will be private sector driven, will be private sector run. And so the Tropicana project for me brings out a 250 bedroom 5-star hotel on one side, brings out a galleria with shopping malls and cinema being centers.
A 16 story 5-star hotel.
And then brings out a galleria with shopping malls and a cinemaplex for cinema viewing centers. At the same time, you move from there, you go into international conference areas where facilities are provided, and from those centers you now move into a kind of mini Disney, which has water, things for children and all that. So, and then with the appurtenances from housing to others. So the reality is that it is a project that I believe will become a one-stop center for recreation and in Akwa Ibom, and also give us an opportunity to host a lot of international fiestas and international seminars. So the vision is not given to everybody. I'm the governor of the state. Just like what happened with the lodge that people are now shouting. Yes. When it is completed, people will hail the administration. Don't forget, if you've read the book by Lin Kuan Yew that says from Third War to First War, you know the effort he had to do to develop his people. And by the time it was true, the country became one of the first wars. Became one of the first war countries. And really, so my vision for the state is that we should build a model state that other Nigerians will come to copy from. Then the flyover project, by the time the international airport starts, we need to divert traffic from the town center. And so that project is futuristic. You may not have we are starting having build up of traffic there. It might not be so apparent today, but there's nothing wrong
in building a dwelling legacies. Yeah, the moment the airport is open and
the traffic will get out of line. And you don't want to build a state because the state is very compact, where people cannot move from one point to the other. Even Abuja that had a dualized road to the airport is now trying to turn it into 6 lanes and all that. So I know what will happen. It's not given to everybody to see these things. We are bounded by very heavy commercial towns like Aba, for instance, like this other place, here. As soon as the airport starts, all those places will take advantage of the airport to travel outside the world. So for me, that the idea of building the flyover is a laudable project that is futuristic, meant to ease traffic within the capital city and also divert traffic. So the criticisms notwithstanding, it's a good project.
Yeah. Just one more question, Your Excellency. A few months ago, a documentary came out in the United Kingdom regarding saving the African witch, children. Can you tell us what the state government has done regarding child witchcraft, which has become a major issue in the international world regarding how Akwa Ibom State is seen?
Well, to be honest, I saw the documentary. I think it was shown on Channel 4 television in the UK, and it was quite unfortunate. That documentary is quite controversial, and right now, because of the fact that there are certain lawsuits that have emanated from it, I wouldn't like to make much comment on the documentary itself.